So, boy, that was too much of a buildup. Here I am. It's Warren Whitlock here, broadcasting on Happs TV. And we can say broadcasting now because it's multicasting. It's going to a broad range of places. So, hey, if you haven't seen me for a while, hello. I got something hooked up and just found out I was on Periscope. I've done 90 of these things over the years. Periscope's shutting down soon, so don't go join. But welcome to the Periscope people I haven't seen in a while, if you're still there. And the Twitter crowd, hopefully, is going to be able to see this today. And hello, all you Twitter people. Want to make sure you can comment. Oh, that's not right. Want to make sure you can comment. Let's see. Private comments are private. They're not now. So apparently, if you find Happs TV, Happs HAPP dot TV, HAPPS dot TV, Happs TV, and then / in my name at Warren Whitlock. And come, you join. You're invited by me by having that link, or just join. It doesn't matter. I'm not getting anything for that, but just come visit, come see the show on Happs TV and look at what this amazing technology is. It's amazing. I still haven't got it working like I want. This is probably the 8th or 9th test I've run. And some of them was just me talking to me, sitting in my room like this talking. And so we haven't got a set. We haven't got anything set up. No guests so far. Thank you to the who we got. Somebody from the Happs team found me in Los Angeles, and somebody on Facebook. Hey, so Facebook's working. I can't remember the last time I actually did anything live on Facebook other than be on somebody else's podcast or live or whatever you want to call it. Let's talk about that. What should we call it? Is this a live show? Is this a broadcast? Is this a multicast? Is this just some old man carrying on about whatever he feels like? Yeah, it's definitely that. And I have things to say. I do want to plan out this and talk a little bit more and have a guest here. If you are on the Happs thing, let me know. If you're somebody that we can have jump on and talk, I think we can have like, it's showing 6 people, even wide format on the phone, best for YouTube, best for how humans like to watch things with 2 eyes, because we are this way, we aren't this way in the physical how we're built. So we'll probably try some on the other format, but if you have an opinion on that or whether or not I look better like this, let me know. I'd be happy to entertain thoughts on that. And there's a casual thing. You can tell I'm casual with the T-shirt, and got the my motto about not growing up. Yeah, although I have to admit, I just turned 65. I'm middle aged now, but I'm still not grown up. So I have to look and see what my expected life is, and I'm pretty sure I'm halfway. But lots of things planning for the future. 2021 going to be fantastic. We're going to do more of this. We're going to all of us, because I'll tell you, when you see how easy this is to use, they asked me if I needed help with it. I said no. It's very easy to use. The problem was that a couple of things weren't working the other day when I was testing it. They fixed that. I don't know how old this company is or what they've been doing, how many people are here. I found some. And thank you all for commenting. I mean, it's just great. It's good. I'd have to put on reading glasses and get close to the screen to read them in real time. So I'm going to read them if it's allowed on various platforms. Comment back to you, whatever. We'll get back to you with everything. I don't see anything. Somebody telling me to say something. Oh, they want to call it the Warren Cast. What do you think, people? Warren Cast? Does that work? I don't know. I've always had a problem with like saying my names and stuff when I have to tell people what my website is, and I have to say warrenwhitlock.com. I don't know if it's an aversion to my name or what. I'm actually quite proud of my name. Comes from a long line of Warren Whitlocks, and and I like that it's unique and I'm easy to find with Google. But at the same time, I don't particularly like saying the name for the website. So anyway, we're going to do that. I think that's what we're going to call it, the Warren Cast for now. Oh, somebody wants to be invited. Let's see. How do I do that? Invite user. I was going to be done by now, and now I got it. Now I got somebody coming on. Well, I invited the user. That's Peter. Peter, are you seeing me? Present on screen. That should just put the comment on screen. Invite user. All right. Well, there's something I don't know how to do. I guess it's to let somebody in. Let's keep trying. Hello from Santo Domingo. That's more Happs team. There's a lot of Happs team on here. Don't you guys work? Oh, I guess this is your job. Interesting thing I was thinking this morning about the time I was wasting on Twitter and how much fun it was and diverting from what I had planned to do this morning. And then, realizing that, oh yeah, I'm that guy that wrote the Twitter book. And this is part of my brand. It's part of what I do. I love talking to people. It has been quite profitable for me to be that person, even though I don't do anything as a social media expert to
Hey, Warren.
wow, you put yourself on. Is
I
that
did.
is
I
that
know.
a
The ego.
is
I'm
that
sorry.
a God control you have, or does anybody just put themselves on?
So, no, we have admin access, and I want to show you how to invite people and
Okay.
a few little tools here in case you haven't discovered them yet.
We've been hijacked by Mr. Happs himself.
You have. You have. Thank you for allowing me to come up here on screen. But
It's great, great,
pleasure to have you. Welcome to Happs.
good. So good, yeah. And so, how am I supposed to invite? So I see somebody in the comments. I see that they're here, and then I click a button. They should be brought on, right?
Exactly. So if you click on the Happs user in the comments, it'll be a blue button that says invite user. And then they'll be able to, from desktop, click join directly into the
Uh huh.
studio.
Did you see when I clicked on you?
Yeah. So I
Okay.
saw the join broadcast button there.
Okay, good. Well, that's easy enough.
Yeah.
It worked just fine. But
Good.
yeah, yeah. And I had some trouble. Comment on this thing about Periscope going away, which seems to be fantastic. I did one a little while ago with Twitter and Periscope. The Twitter
Yeah.
didn't come out as large graphic. Periscope got 3 times as many views because
Interesting.
it was inserted the right way. So that's how Twitter's going to work in the future, right? With a regular site, bigger graphic.
Right. Yeah, it's certainly interesting. We've had a huge influx of new users here at Happs since that announcement that Periscope is shutting its doors in March. I think a lot of people have come over, many top creators, VIP broadcasters from that community,
Right.
because, I think they see the value in our community feel here at Happs. It's pretty easy to get lost in Twitter, if you're not a celeb or a major brand in particular,
Yeah. I know that feeling even myself. I have 500,000 followers, but it's been since 2008. I've talked to a
Right.
whole lot of people, and usually when somebody talks about a list, I'm in the top 10 of social media power influencers from Forbes, and I call it
Awesome.
9 famous people and me. Because
You're
when I
modest.
started using Twitter, I got popular by the time we started writing the book with the lovely Coach Deb, and so we would hold live chats and we did a Blog Talk radio show. We called it Twitcast, And
Nice.
then it became it became social media radio or something. And my second book was Profitable Social Media. And then I went on to other things. I've never wanted to be the social media consultant. Done a bit of it, but that's, or sell. The other thing my friends were encouraging me, sell a course on it. Tell people how to dominate Twitter. And no thanks. But all this time, what I saw is, the big change was Ashton Kutcher went on Oprah back when Oprah had a show on
Right.
sat on the couch. It wasn't Tom Cruise jumping on the couch. But it was about the same time, and showed her how to use Twitter. And I actually found out about it. I was speaking at a conference. I was in Florida, and
Uh-huh.
someone came and said, "Do you see what's happening on Twitter?" And it was blowing up. People were joining Twitter like crazy because they wanted to follow
Right.
Oprah, and almost no one was on. And at that time, I stayed top 5,000 for a long time, and I think I was like top 100.
That's amazing.
And by the people, I just a lot of connecting with people. But my total audience was a few thousand.
Hmm.
And so then as it's grown, I get that feeling. I get lost in, there's other people who really make a big to do about it. They may have an audience of 12,000, but they come on every day. They have good
Hmm.
polls. Polls are great. Quote cards done right are great. I mean, people love to read quote cards, but my quote cards are all stuff I've handpicked and I have a philosophy about, and I talk about. I reply to people when they leave a comment, and they usually get double the engagement. So, and you know what gets the most engagement?
What's that?
What we're doing right here.
That's what I
So,
was gonna guess. Live video is where it's at. I'm
yeah,
biased, obviously. Here, I'm the head of community at Happs, which entails a lot of different things. We do everything from customer education and live tutorials to meeting and greeting folks. Everything from
right.
marketing to actually taking great suggestions from these types of conversations live and handing them to our engineers. So
Yeah,
I
yeah.
love what I do. I love our team and have been with the company since May.
Oh, and how long has the company been live?
Yeah, so great question. The company's been around for at least a couple of years, but it started as a media network that was mainly focused on kind of traditional type of content production. This broadcast studio and the app were originally tools for a small team of reporters to remotely report on
Right.
stories from around the world. And then, one of our co-founders is the former head of content at CNN, David Newman. He hired on Anderson Cooper and a number of other scrubs. I love Anderson, but he, had the vision of Happs being really much more open sourced after the first iteration and realized, these tools are really powerful. We should put them out into the world and kind of make them public facing and allow people to build their own networks and monetization and business strategies through live video.
So the business here is all in the margin you have in the tokens, the game pieces.
Right.
Uh,
So, we're not ad based. It's a huge change. We're more of like a Substack model, right, in terms of the
mhm.
monetization. We're actually having a flash sale on coins right now,
I
just in
saw.
case anyone's
Yeah.
watching that. Yeah, so they're pretty much at face value at the moment. Just for a few days till the end of the month. Our game is twofold. One is the awards, right, which are purchased with our coins on the site.
Mhm.
Um, and we take kind of a sliding cut of those from the people purchasing them to support the broadcasters directly.
Sure.
And then
You
the
don't have a
other,
huge manufacturing cost in those coins.
yeah, so the coins
Zero.
themselves, they don't, our bank, yeah, prints, several sheets per second of the coins. But no, we have some
And the
interesting,
shipping costs are reasonable.
yeah, shipping and handling is marginal.
Yeah, I
But
notice you're not charging for that. Thank you for putting the coins in my
it's,
wallet without me having to pay for it. But
there you go. Yeah,
that's the
we
thing.
also,
it to that point, I think the future economy is going to be such that we can participate things without worrying about the cash or cashing out. Now, obviously, if I've got a huge following here and they want to pay me and or whatever, there's got to be something on there. I know, I actually for the first time, not the first time, but seriously, I sat down one day and said, I'm watching these YouTube videos every time they come out. Subscribe and click the bell. And I said, I got to go find Patreon or whatever these guys want.
Right.
And I paid somebody that's a big name broadcaster that I'd rather not, discuss whether or not it leans towards political views. There's another one on building buildings, and they're sponsored, so I don't bother paying them. But another one, economy. In fact, I'll say the name of that one. Economics Explained, EE. And I'm set up to spend a little bit of money, tip them once a month. And the idea, I that's what I've never done. I don't want to be like start doing that and find out I've got 14 different places that I'm sending it out, and my credit card goes bad. And got to I'm thinking of the old days of having a stack of bills and having to write check. And I said, no, I don't want to do this. And once I got used to it, every time they send me something as a loyal funder for my couple of bucks, and you get early access to the video, which it doesn't make any difference. I watch their videos on Saturday or maybe Sunday, and they come out Friday to tell me that it's going to be there. I still watch it at the same time, but I feel like I'm part of the community, and I think that's the future. Totally. I noticed that one of your people paid me 30 cents, or that might have been you.
Don't spend it all in one place. I think you're up to $1 now.
So great. And that, let's see, no, that's a timer. So anyway, I can see the screen, I can make it function, but I got to put on the funky reading glasses to do anything.
Sure.
I could act like I'm young, and these are just to cut the blue light to help my vision, but no, I'm blind without them.
Well, I should probably get.
And then there's contacts in there anyway, so I'm way past getting over wearing reading glasses. I've been wearing reading glasses now for 25 years. So
I'm starting to get there. All this screen time, I hear you.
Well, I actually learned about these from a guy. I was attending a conference room thing, brainstorming group or mastermind they call it, and I was invited as a guest. And I sat there, and this guy kept switching glasses. He had reading glasses. He wore regular glasses, and he's like playing with it all the time. And he's sitting right across from me. And I finally go, what is it? Oh, the glasses like this. And they had normal round frames. They were, you could see. And he says, it's cutting out the light. And these actually are not as strong. If I'm reading in a book, I need stronger reading glasses. These are whatever this 1.25, 1.5, something like that. They're not heavy duty. But just to see the screen. And when I put them on, it's great. Sure. So I did a test. I did a test like this, and I'll ask anybody that's listening out there, go ahead and comment. Does Warren look funky with the glasses, or does it make me look like a hunk? And we'll do a poll, and then if they work out, I'll recommend Peter buy a pair so he can be hunky like me. Just not on my show. On somebody else's show, you can go on and have the hunky glasses.
There you go. And then you should brand those.
They do come in just straight reading, and you find when you first start needing reading glasses, just the fact that you put on something like this will just enhance everything a little bit without actually magnifying.
Good news. We'll also be enlarging the font so that it's a little bit more readable. We'll have a setting for people to adjust that. So that'll be coming out soon.
It's something I love to talk about all the time. I can read Broadcast Studio without any problem. And I like that it's a broadcast studio. I really think calling them these broadcasts makes sense because they are going out to lots of places. And I mean, obviously that this feed could be fed right into CNN.
It could. You can.
It was designed to do that. Yeah.
We can bring on our llama friend here if we want, you know, the no problema, and suddenly, you know, have an image on screen with us.
This is kind of weird to be on my own show and have somebody take control of the screen.
Sorry about that. You know, I
that's
will
okay.
take a back.
You're more than welcome. I know exactly what's going on. It's not. You really have. For those who care, I'm not hijacking anything. So, and I guess you could call it a Hapcast.
Yeah, you know, we're still working out the lingo, so open to suggestions.
Yeah.
One thing, Warren, I wanted to mention it as far as monetization and our business strategy is that we also have monthly sponsorships, right? And that's something that currently is available to badged members. What's that?
Patreon style.
Exactly. And what we'll do, you know, our next step here, we're very transparent about it, is to be able to have some sponsors only permission broadcasts that you can set and even control your business model, have some tools like a Patreon to customize it, you know, to put in extra perks for your.
With the history of where your software comes from, obviously at some point they could lock down who gets to view it. Because, you know, as soon as you start allowing multiple channels, that gets into the, I don't know, the coders take care of this kind of stuff but it's set up to the fact that I could have a private channel that only people I let in, not necessarily who pay, but they could pay, or I could have a private training for only those people. I just watched a friend, best not say his name, but he sells how to make money with an email list. And if you know me well, you'll know who he is. But anyway, and I just watched. We did a promotion with him, sent him some new leads, and he. Nice. I'm on that list, and so it's on day 3, and I've had about 10 emails from him. He's very much into the using short emails to keep you informed and excited about stuff. And I watched his video, and it's one of those videos you can't stop. And it's him. I mean, it's like this, right? It's him sitting in a room talking about it. And it takes like 10 minutes. And I've taken the headphones off, gone to get some other stuff. I got 2 monitors. So I put him over on the other monitor so I could get some work done while I'm listening to him. I knew exactly what he was pitching. But, you know, he's very good at it. And so I wanted to experience this. And the big thing is, the reason I brought all this up, he's holding a Zoom call.
Zoom, huh? Interesting.
Yeah, he used to do these masterminds where you go and you get in 10 to 15 people and you really get to know the people and work on your business or whatever like that. And phenomenal things have come from that process. There's the classic mastermind, which came from Andrew Carnegie, which was very strict about how many minutes somebody speaks and some things like that. And then these other ones, like the one I was talking about where I found out about class, another friend, you know, he had 10 people in the room for 2 days, and they really drilled down on every business. Which was weird. They insisted I come up with something too, so I stood up and talked for a while. But mostly, I was coming up with ideas for everybody else, and as a mentor part of it, that's what fueled me, because I could use my experience to help these people. And some of them were completely different businesses. It didn't matter. Just I had a different viewpoint. And then somebody stood up and talked about SEO, and they go like, "Oh, I'm glad I'm here. Let me correct these things you're talking about." So that was a lot of fun. And I came home with a whole bunch of new ideas. And so, but they can't hold them that way, you know, because of the Rona. They can't do that. And so he's doing it on Zoom. But the reason I bring it up to you is, you know, he's going to have 15 people on a Zoom call, and he's selling it over and over again, saying the Zoom. It'll be a 3-day intensive. And, you know, and later you'll be able to come to my office where we do blah, blah, blah. But right now, it's going to be on Zoom. And a big Zoom logo on the screen.
Yeah.
Nobody broadcasts at their Zoom. It's kind of like down at the bottom of the screen if you're using the free version.
Sure.
But he made a big deal of it. And it really struck me as he does that with everything. That's his genius. He lets everybody know, because some of the people attending might have a successful business, but have never really used Zoom. You know, retail business, brick and mortar, or somehow managed to use. How could anybody survive without Zoom today? I don't know. Full disclosure, I'm a Zoom shareholder.
So there you go.
I like Happs very much so far and intend to use it a lot, but I'll still hawk Zoom. I'm not required to. I have no contract. I'm not getting paid. Um, but my
No
stock.
worries. Yeah, won't take it personally, Warren.
Yeah,
We're
when you
like
go public, I want in on it.
right on, right on. Well,
Yeah.
be happy to introduce you to our CEO, but he's on here a lot. Actually, he's on
Is he?
nearly every day.
Good.
Um, but we're like Zoom on steroids. On the one hand, we can, yeah, allow you to screen share just like they can, but also you can put in pre-recorded images, videos, up
Right.
to, yeah,
It's much more of the broadcast studio thing. By the way, I learned TV with hand-me-down black and white equipment in early '70s. Recording something meant it was a 2-inch tape in a
right,
room, 100 feet away. So if you ever had to actually go there, you were really running to get back and forth. They would give us a cue, and then they count down 10 seconds because it took that long to get the big reel of tape turning and getting it up to speed. And then it was
man,
black and white, and all the programs we did were 2 people. So very much like what we have here, except for
sure,
the quality is, a million% better today, thanks to digital. You couldn't change the size of a picture. Credits were printed on cards, white type, and you had to go to the art department where they worked on each card for, it took them 15, 20 minutes a card to put the directed by or whatever on the show. And setting up the lights took 3 times as long as the broadcast. And
wow,
so we
yeah,
were all
that's
recorded.
familiar. Yep,
For a half-hour show, actually, it didn't matter if it was an hour, half hour, or what it was. But for every show, it would be like 3 hours setting the lights. You
yep,
put the chairs right where they were. You put tape on the floor to make sure they didn't get moved. And then you
exactly.
2 people, one up on a 16-foot ladder and the other one. That's funny. Just before doing this, I changed the light bulb. Me climbing a ladder today and climbing a ladder 40 years ago, it's like totally different people. I had to have a spotter to go up 2 steps.
Safety first, yeah.
Today. Yeah, but back then it was multiple people doing that lighting crew, and I didn't like that part of it. But the interesting thing is today I understand lighting. I do some.
Right.
I screw with it so much that I look like a white, like a ghost, and that could be I'm old and don't get sun. But
Right.
there's something about this room. Ever since I moved into this house, I have the overhead light on. That kills things. Let's turn it off.
See
That's
how
the
it lifts
wonderful
you.
thing about a live broadcast and just some guys talking.
I know, right?
We're
You
not
know,
we're not constrained to make sure everything looks good and presented like we were told to. Let's see.
yeah, the audience is
Yeah, I
forgiving
have a
too.
little bit more color now.
Yeah.
So
And we got a
anyway,
beauty filter for you, Warren, here too. We can throw that in. We can actually adjust the brightness too if you go into
yep,
that. Yeah. So we can have a little bit of customization here.
right. Yeah, I was on one, I was on in actually what was the base for that? I think it was Huawei, so it was Shanghai, or it could be the other one, Shenzhen. Uh, but anyway, I was on in China, and so it was 1 o'clock our time,
Uh-huh.
and it was promoted as live, and they recorded it. So I set an alarm and got up at 1 o'clock and tweeted live along with it. But everything was very canned. They have a whole different way of looking at doing this stuff than you or I would, and
Totally.
but it was a marvelous experience, and the other guys on it were great, and but they just kept saying you look like a ghost, and so I switched. It was I could change the background, and that sort of thing. And you don't have that now, do you? Can I put a background
So
on this?
not currently. What you can do is actually bring in OBS or bring in other
Oh yeah.
cameras. Even something called Snap Filter will allow you to create your own background that's green screen compatible. Oh, hey, there you go.
There you go.
Nice.
Yeah,
So
but you don't have something to fill the green screen.
no,
Yeah.
not currently. We're working on it though. It's definitely on our product roadmap.
Right. And then to do that right, actually, I need a little lamp on that. I have studio lights right here. They're not on, but
Right.
and I was finding out they just make me look more washed out. And I have great natural sunshine. I live in Las Vegas,
Right.
Not so
That's
much
right. I'm up
today.
in
It's kind of a
Seattle here,
crazy
so
day.
I don't even know what the sun looks like anymore. It's been months. Yeah.
Well, I have been out. I went out of the house to check the oil in the car for my wife, and that's the only
Good
time I've
man.
been out of the house in about 2.5 weeks.
Well,
I
smart.
don't go. It's cold, so I'm not going outside to,
Yeah.
set by the pool or something. But it's the long winter. It'll be 3, 4, 5 weeks of some bad days, and that's the highs are in the 60s. So,
Right. Yeah. Well, it's
but
all relative.
so yeah, we're pretty good. So yeah, we'll have to figure out how to do that. But no, I like this platform. I have used OBS. I
Mhm.
don't like it.
Yeah.
It gets too complicated for
It
me,
certainly can.
from what I want. Again, I have all that experience doing other things. I've been a disc jockey back when it wasn't when actually playing records at a they wouldn't even call them discos yet. Discos was a few
Right.
years later. But all of that kind of stuff, in high school, if we didn't have a live band, we didn't go to the dance.
Right.
Because
Right.
hey, you get a live band, you don't want that stupid record. But I was a disc jockey, man, and I was on the radio, and what we did was
Very
every
cool.
record you talked over in the intro of the music, and you
Yeah.
got to time everything. And I realized it's something for my somewhat ADD type brain. I say we're all on the spectrum. I definitely am. Um,
Yeah.
the
Me
spectrum
too.
is a lot more than the diagnosed things. And I tend to like that. There's a lot of stuff going on, knowing what to do, but
Mhm.
I don't practice enough to get good at any of them. So,
Well,
but I
yeah.
do. I set on the keyboard trying to figure out what's going to happen next, and load times drive me crazy. I have gigabit service. I have very fast computers. I have
Mhm.
all sorts of accessories. I used to sell these things. I know very much about the tech, and I
Right.
get it all set up, and then I sit here and wait. Like one of the problems I always used was I was starting too soon. I
Oh,
would get into the pre-show, pre-live, I think you're calling it,
yep.
and want to get
Premium.
started, and then I want to play with it. I see that I can switch now inside the show. Can I switch to the grid and all that?
Yeah.
Uh,
Yeah. Play around with it. So
okay.
that's not going to
So,
do.
but when it's just two of us, it's not going to be any different, right?
Right. Right. So
Oh,
the
there I
picture
go.
in
Okay.
picture
The
looks
way
pretty
it should
cool.
be. I'm big. Um,
Yeah. There you go. There you go.
and oh, that's
And
interesting because
really, the way it should be. This is my personal favorite. But
oh yeah,
yeah.
it was not make you big there, huh? Yeah.
We'll
Yes.
we'll bring in the llama again to show you what that looks like if
Yep.
we play around
And
with
then if
this.
I do that, I got 3.
Yep,
And it defaults to that. Yeah, I like
correct.
this one's pretty good though. And I've got my 2 guests on, the llama and you. Yeah, so fine, lots of fun, lots of fun. And I know how to get rid of the llama.
Yeah,
Oh, I guess we both clicked at the
we
same
both
time.
did. Yep. Whoops.
All right. Normally, you don't let the other guy you're talking to be an admin.
Well, that's true. You can invite people separately, either as a participant or a director. They're
Right.
separate permissions, but unfortunately, I have
Well, you have
oh,
God power in this system. You can do anything you want. That's
well,
fine.
with
And
great power comes great
we're lucky to
responsibility.
have you here because of what I was being taught by the norm. So let's talk about what the other one people are pushing me to use, Clubhouse. And they say that people want to talk and they don't want to put on makeup to go on a Zoom call.
There's nothing wrong with that. I mean, I see us as entirely separate. They have, some interesting community forums and spaces, right? And sure, if people aren't into video, it makes sense. But I think we're an entirely different technology.
If your recording works well, I would use this. I'm using Zoom right now and going live with that
Hmm.
to record my podcast. And my podcasts are audio, but
Right.
I want to see the person. I use always like to give a shout out Squadcast.fm,
Hmm.
and there's several that do that. But I've had good luck with Squadcast. It's treated me good, treated me well, and I'm not going to be renewing my subscription with them because I just, I see it's an experience like you and I are having here, and I get a good recording. It records your part on your computer, my part on my computer, uploads them every half second or something, so you can't lose a recording, and then it can be mixed in post. And Zoom allows you to have the separate audio feeds. And I'm now using Describe. Descript. You pull in a video there, and you can take out the ums and ahs, and you just get silence out of me talking, which I'd be half silenced because I and ah so much.
Don't we all?
And when it gets trained, the AI can then know your voice well enough that you can reword a sentence, and it will just put that in. Now video, a little bit clunky because of making edits in a video. I was surprised how well they come out, but I use it for the audio, so I'll do that. I then have a transcription put on the blog post that goes with it. Great for SEO, great for people that want to read along, and it takes care of the speakers and all sorts of things. So you start combining these things together. There's no reason why we shouldn't have a transcribed history of everything that we do. Just like the Zoom. I've got Zoom set to record automatically, and almost always I turn it off. But then I've got a whole lot of funny files where Zoom has put them in the folder with, you can tell they're very short. So there's a whole bunch of short ones and then occasional long ones. And then some of the long ones are what I want to do. And I change the name on them, and that kind of screws up the sync if I ever want to go back into Zoom. So it's not made to be a recording studio. So you take those things and put them together, the ubiquity of Zoom. Now I'm sure we could hook in. So on Zoom I could go live to Facebook or YouTube, and then it doesn't have an RTMP.
Yeah, so I'm not sure exactly what Zoom offers. Here we have, Facebook.
I can push a Zoom call into this platform.
So we have currently no custom RTMP input, but that's changing very soon, like within the next week or so, actually.
Or I could use this to go out to a Zoom call.
So we do have custom RTMP output. So yeah.
So interesting. By the way, I talk in theory. Whether or not you build it or not doesn't matter to me. But good that you're the company representative and don't let me go along saying input RTMP when it's not a feature right now.
No, it's not here yet, but we do envision some of those interesting features you just mentioned being part of the studio. Things like perhaps a live transcript here that's generated, or something maybe like a teleprompter, which would be right here underneath the program window, so you can set your notes up, or on top. Yeah, exactly.
Floating on top, where you move it around, but then it has a transparent background if you want. And exactly. So 50%, so you can go ahead and read the script, but still kind of know what's going on in the background. That'd be great.
Love that idea.
The optimal, of course, for a teleprompter is to make sure that it's you look right at the camera and you see what you're talking about. Then
exactly.
I have a teleprompter, and it's like OBS. Teleprompter's in the closet with my SLR camera. With the mirror and everything, the nice big camera that looks like a 35 millimeter camera, and I don't even remember what kind it is. I do remember it's a Canon Power Shot, I think is what they call them. And
I have one of those.
I bought the thing. I've taken not nearly enough pictures to justify paying for it, and now it's set in a box with the teleprompter for I think 3 moves without even opening it up from the box. So there's years and years of that, because this kind of stuff got so good and I'm lazy. I don't set up to do broadcasts. I'm doing this because somewhat prompted from a message from you, and you're doing a great job of that kind of outreach. And when I said, I got to get around to that, and I tried something, a couple hours went by, and here we are. So how long have we been doing this?
It's great. It's already almost 40 minutes. I got to run. I want to invite you though. We have a broadcast of the week show that one of my colleagues
coming on my show and telling me to end it and go on his show.
So yeah, you can just end this and hop right on over and check out some of the
Okay.
best stuff we had on the platform over the last 7 days. It's one of our favorites. We're on here all the time. I'm live, greeting people like yourself, or just having our own live tutorials and
Good.
things 3 times a day. So
Wow.
yeah,
Great. Well, thanks for stopping by and taking control of the whole thing.
no,
And
my pleasure. Yeah,
liked
thanks
it.
for giving Happs a
And
shot.
and wait a minute, we got to say goodbye to the llama.
Yeah,
Bye,
the
llama.
no problema over there.
Yeah. By the way, every time I've been on here, I have the reading glasses off and can't see it, so I can't. He does say something on there, right?
It says, yeah, new to Happs. This is a sample image you
Let's
can
do this
upload.
here.
Yep, exactly.
Keeping me off. And what did you say? Read it to me.
New to Happs, no problem. This is a sample image. You can upload your own by clicking the upload image view video button below. So,
Oh, well, there you go. Well, so
yeah.
he's not going to be around, and then there's going to be some other images there because I like to play with and this is just beautiful.
Oh, good. Yeah, glad you
The
like
show will
that.
be starting anytime. That's pretty good. I put that on a couple of times just by playing with it. Got to get some more things, some video. So I could play one of them Zoom podcasts that I've done.
Yeah.
And this is great because I do this. The green screen actually work.
Nice.
So I could put it into Minicam or something simple to put stuff on the green screen. And I think
Right. You can bring it in as a camera within the mic cam settings, but I'm happy to walk you through that or assist or one of my colleagues. I need to run right now to go.
I wouldn't hesitate to reach out if I needed help, but basically I've done all that before. I don't like messing with it. I like the idea that I click my Zoom or Skype button or whatever I'm using, and there it goes. And
for sure.
That's what I think you guys have. Now that the first time I set up but this is now going 6 locations. I'm not sure. We're going to find out whether or not I like what I see when I get to Facebook and it's on 3 different pages. I got this feeling that somebody from Facebook or some friend is going to comment, "What the heck are you doing? It's on your page. It's over here."
Well, go check it out. Let us know.
We do a regular live for free ebooks. Free-ebooks.net is the #1 selection if you search on Google for free ebook. And it's an interesting business, and it's got reams of data, and that's what interests me is the joint ventures we can do as we start to identify people by what they like to read and then make offers to them match. And then, of course, consolidate the non-personalized data to figure out what to do next. And this site is 12 years old, 15 years old, I can't remember. We bought a couple of years ago, and so right now we're just getting ready to start doing that kind of stuff. So we fixed up the site to where it could hobble along, and we're building the new stuff now. And and we do a broadcast there, and I get to think, well, what I hate about the Facebook ones, and it doesn't matter. I think this guy's using StreamYard for our podcast, and he has to give you the URL at the last minute. Or it gives you the URL and then it's not live, or I can't buy ads or tell my audience that I'm going to be on the show or do anything like that without it getting interrupted and putting something like the latest cover photo that's on our page, which they're not that imaginative. They won't match the topics we're going to talk about, but I love those kind of features in here. What I love about this is that it's kind of set it and forget it. Anytime I feel like it, I can push the live button and start talking. And so I'm going to try to break it as I do.
Nice. Let us know. That's how we get better.
I'm the guy who breaks things.
Good.
And give it a try. And
let us
so
know.
And all of you listening. So right now we have 395 live people have been through here. We have 28. I guess is that comments or likes?
So that is
what do we got? Love on here? What's that? What do we have 2 of?
So that's a Periscope. There's 24 hearts on Periscope there.
Oh.
And there's 2. So there's awards. So you have 2 awards, 1 great interview and 1 super heart award there.
So that's awarded by the Happs staff?
So those were from
I want to know who to bribe.
Right. So anyone can give those awards, yeah. But those happen to be from a Happs mod, yeah, who is in here, moderator
Good,
Lucia. Yeah.
good.
Well, this was
Before I
great. I got to
goodbye,
start a different
yeah,
broadcast, Warren. Excuse me.
yeah,
Really would love to
great.
see you over there, and would love to see you back here soon. Don't hesitate to reach
Yeah,
out
sure.
anytime.
So bye. I have a large audience in Africa and in Asia, so I'll be on here, maybe in the middle of the night playing with it, and we'll
Very
figure
cool.
out. I don't know if I'm going to do anything regular, but there it is. And thanks for
Yeah,
coming. Thanks to my
my
guest
pleasure.
Peter, whose last name I can't read.
Bittner, no worries.
Bittner. Bittner, that's a great name. Peter Bittner's been on here. What a super guest! Everybody applaud. We
Oh,
love
wow.
him,
Thank you. Thank you.
and we'll be back and we'll do something more in the near future.